All right, here's one that was a transpositional game where it starts as one thing, becomes something different. So queen pawn, he wants to go Benoni. Fine, no problem. If you want to play Benoni, which your standard reply to this would be d5. Or you could also, if you want to play c4. But I don't want to play Benoni. I'll play you Sicilian Smith-Morra Gambit. You never know what they know or don't know. So he captured e5. Very playable, but you better know what you're doing because you can get into trouble with that move. So I continue with the straight Smith-Morra Gambit, now c3. He's like, I'll take the pawn, sir. So fine. Knight takes. And his next move should be knight c6 to defend the pawn, which he did. So, hey, this is an attack game. Bishop to c4, the best attacking diagonal for that bishop. In fact, no grandmaster is more famous for putting a bishop on c4 against a Sicilian than Bobby Fischer himself. Bobby Fischer, made a career literally out of playing against the Sicilian as white by putting that bishop on c4. So if you ask yourself, was bishop to c4 against a Sicilian defense a good move? Bobby Fischer thought so. Works for me. They don't get any better than that. Bishop to b4. It's an offbeat but dangerous attack version for black. Me, I'm like, I'm not goofing around. So, computer thinks knight g5 is better with like knight h6 and then queen b3 coming. So, which, you can't argue with the computer because, come on, the computer is freaking killer. But queen b3 is very playable and has a lot of potential. Especially when he goes queen to e7, which it was okay, but not the best move. But, it's good. Maybe not the best move is not the right way to say it, but, I wasn't really that worried about it. So look at what has white done. He's developed 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces in castle. So 5 pieces, essentially, really 6 if you want to get down to it. So we did 4 pieces plus a castling. He's got 3 pieces developed. So we have some slight, 2 tempi advantage for the pawn. Not bad. So it's all pretty good. This is still, a good solid game. He's supposed to probably play knight to f6 or knight to f6 or really knight to f6 is the best move. It's so clearly the best move. I can't even think of another move that would be reasonable. d6 maybe? That would be reasonable, but knight to f6 is by far the best move. He did not play knight to f6. And that's his problem. He got really, really greedy, and thought he saw something that he did not see. Knight to d4 is a whoop-de-doo kind of move, if ever I saw one. So, think about this one for a second. Now, when I'm playing a game, I don't see double question mark, where I know it's a trash move. Like the computer's warning you. So the computer's warned you, hey, this is a trash move. How can you beat the trash move? So take yourself a couple minutes to figure this out if you can. And then we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so hopefully you saw the cruncher, which I did. Just simple stuff. Remove the threat to your queen. He takes it, fine, who cares? And then you knight fork him. And, you know, that bishop is dead. There's literally nothing he can do to save that bishop. Well, there is one thing he can do, but it's not better. And he did it. He moved it. So when I said he couldn't save the bishop, what I meant was he couldn't save the bishop in addition to saving his queen. So he decided, I guess, not to save his queen. He just made a mistake. You know, game in 3 minutes, flash, speed chess move, bishop to d6. Everybody has done that if they played speed chess. And if you say you haven't, you either never have played speed chess or you're lying. Because everyone, including grandmasters, have done this. Whoops! We've all done it. Literally everyone that you have ever seen has done this, whether they admit it or not. You ask them, you could give, that's a test of character. Have you done that? Oh, no. Well, they're lying, unless they haven't played speed chess, because we all do it. It happens to everybody, literally. There's nothing you could do about it. It's like if you jump in the pool, did you get wet? Well, unless you've got psychic powers beyond human, you know, abilities, yeah, you got wet. So, well, that's the thing. This was not really a spectacular game or anything like that. But it was a good example of getting careless, making a speed chess mistake. You know, and this happened because when we started from one opening of Benoni from Black's perspective and switched it out to a Sicilian defense with a offbeat attack, which when you look at it from the standard Benoni defense, they're not really that close. And if he hasn't studied that attack, as a Benoni player, he may not have studied that attack, which would explain what happened. And that's the thing. The transpositional opening ability can give you sometimes easy victories against strong players because you're catching them out of their realm of preparation. And I think that's what happened here, combined with the fact that there was, you know, speed chess mistake. You know, it's a combination of minor errors that cost him. So it's just something to show you so you can see it and then analyze it and realize, oh, you know, you need to have your spidey senses in good shape, because he did not have good spidey senses, and so he saved his bishop and lost his queen. But, you know, like I said, that's one thing that's happened to everybody at some point. You know, so don't break your arm patting yourself on the back there. It wasn't anything spectacular. Sometimes, you know, you play a game and you win the game. Or sometimes when you play a game, sometimes one person wins it and sometimes one person loses it. So this was not a game where I won this game. The other guy lost it. And I just happened to be across the board from it. So you can't, you know, they all count the same. If you're playing in a tournament, you know, it says, hey, I played Mr. X. I won. Okay. That's what the scoreboard of the tournament would show, that I won. But actually when you look at the game, Mr. X blew it royal. Okay. So you can't claim that you're a great player just because Mr. X, you know, made a mental mistake and lost. That's not greatness. That's part of the game. You have to show up and play who you play, and you get the result you would get. But don't overemphasize your victory where the guy made a mistake and gave it away. Vice versa. When you screw up and give up a game, and trust me, you will, everybody has. The other day, Garry Kasparov resigned on move 7. because he made a similar mistake to this guy. And, you know, Kasparov is, in my mind, number 2 all time. And you could put it, to me, you could put it, it's Kasparov and Bobby Fischer are the 2 best players ever. And you can have your own personal opinion of which one you think is better. I think Bobby Fischer is still the man. But if anybody would be better than him, it's Garry Kasparov. So that would just tell you, if Kasparov lost in 7 moves, you could lose in 7 moves. I could lose in 7 moves. Anyone could lose in 7 moves if the right situation occurs. This one was like 14 moves. But it happens. Even to what I say is the first or second greatest player of all time, he lost in 7 moves because he made a mental slip. Oops. It happens. So the next time you lose a game badly, just think, well, I lasted longer than Garry Kasparov did. Oh, well, once anyway. So hopefully you enjoyed this, had some fun, and you guys know what to do. I'll talk to you later.